I'm Daniel Dunphy, Assistant Producer at Big Ant Studios, and one thing we're very excited about is the narrative-driven story in career mode.
So on AO Tennis 2, we've really drilled down and added the experience in career mode.
I hope everything's going well. You've been playing some good tennis. We've got a slam coming up.
We've got some new characters that you'll get to meet along the way. We've got press conferences. We've got the reputation system that is completely built into every action that you perform on and off the court, and that'll really dictate how that career plays out.
For the first time ever, tennis fans will be able to be involved in a career that has a reputation system. How you behave is how you'll get treated.
Depending on how you react on the court, whether or not you apologise for net cords or whether or not you cheer for the opponent making an error, these things will affect whether or not you have a good or bad reputation.
This means that you'll get invitations to certain events, sponsors will drop off or accept you based on your reputation.
I never would have dreamt it. You've been selected to represent your country. What do you want to do?
It also affects the way that the story narrative works. Maybe you'll have a good ending, maybe you'll have a bad ending.
You don't listen to me.
One of the most fun things in the game is actually the press conferences.
With a win, with a defeat, you're going to have to face the press, and your answers will directly impact what happens within the story mode.
We've come up with questions and answers with all varying levels of good, bad, positive, negative, neutral.
It's a lot easier to come up with negative things, I think, though. Yeah, it will. So
we really want the player to build the personality that they want. If they want to be super sarcastic in these press conferences, you've got all those answers there to provide. If you want to be super happy and positive and play along with all the media, that's what you can do as well. You can be really narky or very professional.
Adding a narrative to the career mode has really allowed our artists to shine, our animators to do some stuff that they've never done before.
Have a look through your tablet, as you'll see I've organised a nice sponsorship opportunity to get the ball rolling.
we added the cinematics and the story-driven mode just to really kind of add that realism to you being a tennis player, to actually feel like you're going through a career and experiencing everything that a real tennis player would have.
You need a proper manager.
We have some characters that you actually will meet and will help you along the way in your career. Depending again on how you actually behave within the game, this will affect how they behave with you. We've added those characters to add depth to the game to make sure that it's, again, as immersive as possible.
I think, though, maybe it's time to consider hanging up the racket.
Adding the story mode is obviously a fair amount of work in terms of what you have to put into the game. There's environments that are separate to a normal tennis court. You've got lip syncing that's involved in actually the players and the coach as they're talking. You've got additional animations that are outside of standard tennis players' animations.
We had to do some mocap, voice acting. We've recorded all new sound, all new voice work, all new mocap for it all.
By adding a deeper career mode this time, it's ensuring that the player can stay immersed in the world of a tennis player.
You've certainly made a splash recently. Your reputation is diving, and unfortunately the sponsors have noticed.
Something we've actually added on AO Tennis 2 is a much more elaborate career hub. When you go into career, you'll spend most of your time looking at doubles partners, your rankings. You can now actually go through and set up an entire season's worth of tournaments as you go through and play the game.
Having a much deeper and narrative career mode attaches the player and makes you feel for your player. You feel every up, every down, every injury, every win, every loss.
Welcome to Rod Laver Arena for this exhibition match.
From the reputation system, the press conferences, the narrative-driven story, you're really getting not only everything that Big Ant always provides in terms of creation aspects, creating players, stadiums, logos, but now you've got the career elements to complement all that. It all helps to create this massive package that everyone will love.